You spoke about parts of Acts being removed from the Bible. What is your opinion on Apocrypha being removed or being a part of the Bible?
This country of England has a long history of going back and forth between Catholic and Protestant, if you know, Bloody Queen Mary and then King James. So there was quite a historical thing to be taken into consideration. There was a strong Catholic influence in England when King James paid to have the Bible translated into English. They compared the 6 previous English translations, Wycliffe and Tyndale, etc., and they used like 95 or 98% of the exact wording. They said, this is correct. They tweaked it a little bit, spent a fortune and 7 years, and produced what we now call the King James. At the time, it was just simply called the Bible or the Authorized Version. Because of the strong Catholic influence, they demanded that the printers include the Apocrypha, the other 6 or 7 books, 1st and 2nd Maccabees, Esdras, Canticle of Canticles, etc. And so the King James translator said, this is not Scripture. It's historical information, it's interesting books, but it's not Bible. And so they put it between the Old and New Testament as a separate section and marked it clearly that it's not Scripture. So I forget the wording they used on it, but then later it was taken out when it was politically safe to do so. And the Catholics didn't have such strong control. But simply now Psalm chapter 12 in verse 6 and 7, God promised to preserve his words. He promised. Actually, God's obligated to preserve his words. If the city that you live in passes a law that says the speed limit is 30 on this road out here, okay, they're required now to do 3 things. Number 1, to publish the law. They got to make a record. Hey, town meeting last night, we voted speed limit's 30. Okay, they publish it. You can't pass a law and not tell anybody and expect them to obey it and give them a ticket for not obeying it.
Right.
You have to publish it. Then you have to post it. Put a sign up, speed limit 30. Then you have to preserve it. If somebody knocks a sign down, they go put a new one up right away. Publish it, post it, preserve it. If God is going to judge us someday, as he says he is, he's obligated to publish his law, post it clearly, and preserve it. In Psalm 12, 6 and 7, it said the word of the Lord is like pure words, purified 7 times. And I think he preserved it right there in the King James Version. I don't know of a single syllable that's wrong. I can show you errors in all the other ones. So a church in Egypt, Alexandria, Egypt, in the 3rd century, they did not like a lot of things the Bible said. They wanted everybody to think they're Christian, but they didn't like some of the stuff, so they took it out. They wrote a version of the Bible that they took out. They made 6,000 major changes, and they made it say what they wanted. Example, Acts 8:37. The eunuch and Philip are going along in the chariot in the book of Acts chapter 8, and they came to some water, and the eunuch said, hey, here's water. Can I get baptized? And in verse 38, Philip said, if you believe, you can. And the eunuch said, I believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God. So he baptized him. Well, this Alexandrian cult down in Egypt, they believed in baptizing babies.
Right.
Well, babies are not believers. So they took out verse 38. And what happened in the 1880s, 2 guys in England, Westcott and Hort, resurrected some of the corrupt old manuscripts from this cult, the Egyptian cult, and translated it and made the whole new Bible version craze since 1880, with I think nearly 1,000 now English translations of the Bible. They're translating the wrong book. These guys made the old Alexandrian cult manuscript popular, and so like the NIV is a good translation of a bad book. The translation, so it leaves out Acts 8:37 and 50 or 200 other verses. So I think the Apocrypha is interesting reading, and it's not Scripture.